This is Eurovision 365. I am Podrick, and you are very welcome wherever you're watching us from. And regardless of whether you are a new or returning viewer, thanks so much for stopping by. Now that we know all the 37 songs that will be performed in Malmo in May, it's now tradition for this channel to focus on the top 10 or so in the betting odds at least and answer the question, can they win? Before I go on any further, to clarify, the top 10 odds I am basing this on is the one that EurovisionWorld.com has combined and compiled for us all. Word of caution. As with any betting odds, my friends, they do fluctuate, so at the time of recording, these are the top 10 or so favourites to win. So first up, it is Sweden! Välkommen alla tittare denna video från Sverige! Sweden made its debut at the 1950 contest with Alice Babs and Lilla Stjärna, that translates to English as Little Star. Placing fourth, it wasn't the worst debut of a nation at the contest by any means. It's fair to say after that decent debut, it took the nation a little while to find their way. Even the cheery Lilla Babs, who whistled her way through the sprightly number April, only managed 14th place. It wasn't until 1966 when Lille Lindfors and the late Svante Thuresson achieved silver medal performing Ni Gamla Vals, New Old Waltz, and gave a fun interpretation of their song. Lille Lindfors, of course, presented Eurovision 1985, welcoming the audience with a dance and a song, and was very much present on stage throughout the performances, and could at times be seen swaying along to a song or casually talking to a conductor. With the routines to allow groups to perform at the contest, Sweden tried with two blonde ladies and two brown-haired men. I know what you're thinking, but it wasn't ABBA. No, it was Family 4 who came to the contest both in 1971 and 1972. Unfortunately, Marie had sustained some type of injury in the lead up to the contest in Edinburgh and can be seen limping onto the stage. After the rather unusual lyrics, to say the least, from the Nova, who had to change their name, even though Malta wasn't in the contest in 1973. Anyway, Your Summer, the song, still came in at 5th somehow. And then we come to 1974. 50 years ago, and ABBA stormed the stage a bit like the Battle of Waterloo and won, paving the way for global success. It's almost surprised me that the UK jury didn't award a single point to Waterloo, especially as ABBA became so huge with the British audience. Sweden have, of course, won 7 times in total and will be hosting Eurovision in the Malmo Arena for the second time in 11 years in a couple of months' time. That 7th win came, of course, last year in the shape of Loreen with her song Tattoo, and is, of course, the reason we will be going to Malmo in less than 50 days' time. I can't believe it. What is there to say about Loreen that we don't know already? Well, she has won both in 2012 and 2023, and Loreen joins Joy Logan on winning the contest twice as a performer. Although the stage show for Tattoo had to be altered due to the dimensions and restrictions of the Liverpool Arena, this wasn't catastrophic, and in terms of performance last year, Loreen's experience shined through. Despite not winning the public vote in 2023, Tattoo is one of the most streamed songs of Eurovision, which is remarkable given that the song was only in the public attention about a year ago. Loreen is a fantastic performer who always seems to make time for Eurovision fans. We are going to Sweden once again because of her and the team behind the song. Following their second place at Melodifestivalen in 2023, twins Marcus and Martinus were the favourites to win the 2024 edition, and when they did. In a convincing result, Marcus and Martinus won both the jury and the public vote and can be confident that the nation and international community, well, the juries of those countries selected by SVT, are fully behind them. As already mentioned here on the channel, Marcus and Martinus first came to prominence in Sweden following their win of the Swedish version of The Masked Singer, the first duo to do so. This no doubt pushed them on to try for Melodifestivalen in 2023 with the fantastic song I loved everything about that song and performance, and would have done, I think, just as well as Loreen had they been selected last year. I'm sure they didn't mind the short wait, as now they find themselves representing the home nation and will no doubt be buried on by the home fans. Unforgettable is the song that will carry the hopes and dreams of the home team. It's a decent song that is enriched by the dynamic staging. The lyrics of the song and the chorus go like, you better know she's dangerous. She is unforgettable. Unforgettable. And it feels so good it hurts. She is unforgettable. Whoa, she's unforgettable. She's unforgettable. She's unforgettable. The song describes a female who is, you guessed it, unforgettable, especially as she is dangerous because she's venomous. That's going to chew you up. I'd rather forget about someone like that, to be honest with you. But sure, there you go. Is it original? I'm going to say it's not overly original in terms of the song itself. I would say compared to this song isn't as good lyrically. However, the staging, well, let's talk about that now. We all know by this point that SVT and the Swedes in general have nailed the staging aspect of their entries. Many other nations look to the Swedes for help with mixed results, it's fair to say. SVT get it that in the modern day Eurovision, the contest is as much about spectacle as it is about the song. Despite what us older Eurovision fans prefer, hey, the song contest has evolved as it always has done since its conception. Look at Sweden's entries in 2011, 2012, of course, 2015, 2017, 2018, and even in 2022 with Cornelia Jacobs. Although it was a much more scaled back presentation, it worked so well on camera. Who'd have thought a big green circle that spun around on occasions would have worked so well? It's Sweden. It had to work. The staging of Unforgettable is, I'm going to say, incredible. The box-like structure Marcus and Martinus performing looks like a confined space as the song begins, but as the pulsating beat comes through for the first chorus and deep bass line, the dancing and particular camera angles for this performance are powerful and ultimately impactful, and it definitely packs a punch. As the song progresses, that box-like structure LED walls change to match what's happening with the melody, and ultimately the box structure opens up. There's no doubt that the staging of this song is what makes this song unforgettable, but sadly not the lyrics. But I would say that what we have seen already would be pretty much what is going to be on stage right behind me. Yay, just there. So what's going for it? Well, as I've just said, the staging is what's definitely going for it. Marcus and Martinez are also very engaging performers and bring an air, no pun intended, of confidence. They have experience of performing in 2 consecutive melody festivals, and let's face it, the scale of that national final is on a par with a small Eurovision. Also going for the twins is obviously the fact it's the home nation. In most cases, not all, but in most cases, the home nation is rewarded with what I'd call a well done you vote from the international audience following a successfully presented contest. Of course, there would be a throng of support from the audience in the arena. With the exception of Christer Bjorkman in 1992 and Robin Stjernberg in 2013, the home entrant has placed in the top 10 and twice inside the top 5. Most recently, when the fantastic Franz placed 5th in 2016 with If I Were Sorry, and of course, I still love that song. That should give the young lads and the home team encouragement going into the final. So what's going against it, you say? Well, the draw isn't the best for Sweden, is it? They will, of course, open the show, and while it's a much better position than going on stage second, it's probably not what they had hoped for. And I'm sure the producers, if they could have decided to complete the running order, would have had any other country but Sweden going on stage first. The Swedish audience will be fever pitch at the beginning of the contest, but that enthusiasm will surely wane as the show progresses, because the anticipation of the home entrant performance will have passed by within the first 10 or so minutes of the contest beginning. Stats also show that the TV audience grows as the contest goes on, and those performing later have arguably a bigger reach. Interestingly, in 2023, host nation UK closed the show, and in 2024, host nation Sweden will open it. It's not unheard of for the first song to win the contest, with winners coming from that position in 1975, 1976, and 1984, and has been always in the earlier contest. The most recent, of course, was 1984, and that was Harry's, and it's 40 years on from that win in Luxembourg, with Luxembourg now returning to the contest after 31 years. Could this draw for Marcus and Martinez have a numerological significance? In the last 5 years, those who opened the show have had the following placing at the end of the voting. 2023 for Austria were 15th, 2022 Czechia was 22nd, 2021, Cyprus opened and they placed 16th. 2019, it was Malta and they placed 14th. 2018 was Ukraine and they placed 17th. Let's not forget the voting will be open from the start of the show, so that could help Sweden. But if the last 5 years are anything to go by, I guess M&M, as sometimes they're called, could be a little nervous. So, is the song likely to do well with the jury? I would say that Marcus and Martinus are very likely to do well with the juries and can be confident, I think, of being within that top 10, maybe even top 5 at the end of the jury voting. They are a complete package in terms of ability, presence, and staging. With the Televoters, I'm not so sure about this one. Not because of the early draw, but because I think the song itself is what perhaps lets it down a little. Despite the fact I really enjoy it, and I really do, and I listen to it a lot, I think it's a bit too repetitive. I compare the song a bit to Who the Hell is Edgar? I'm not saying they're the same songs, far from it. However, it's a type of song, it's got the same type of vibe. And Austria were expected to do much better than they did last year and should have, but perhaps going on first didn't help them either. After all that though, it's now time for my personal verdict. Do I think Sweden can win? I'm going to have to say no. It is with regret I have to say that. I do think Marcus and Martinus will do themselves and Sweden proud, but I don't feel it's going to be 2 wins in a row. That's what I think, but now it's over to you. Let me know your thoughts in the usual way, just like Lawrence William from Ireland did, and who says Sweden is catchy, but not sure it could win. Great staging though, so might be top 5, kinda in line with what I'm thinking as well. As I say, let me know what you think about the All Nations at Eurovision 2024, and your comment could be included in a future video. Make sure to stop by next time when I continue on this journey around the top 10 favourites to win, and answering the question, can they? Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hey do!